But hey, we got some bowl games to break down here. And of course, we got to start with the college football playoffs where number one Alabama is going to be taking on number four Cincinnati in the Cotton Bowl. And this game's going to kick off December 31st, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ESPN. College football playoff semifinal matchup. And the other semifinal, the Orange Bowl in Miami, Georgia versus Michigan. Again, December 31st. That game's going to be 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central on ESPN. And we've got some point spreads only for those two. They don't have point spreads yet for the rest of the bowl games, but Alabama's favored by 13.5 over Cincinnati. The over-under is 59. And Georgia favored by over Michigan by 7. A touchdown here. Over-under 43.5. And that one a rock fight. But at least according to the spreads here, SEC favored to meet in the national championship. And I'm sure people from outside the SEC footprint that kind of roll their eyes at that, don't want to see it anymore. But, man, there was a point Saturday night watching Georgia and Alabama just go at it. How could you want to see anything but that? And it's not that, the little guy deserves a chance. These other teams deserve a chance. But, I mean, it truly is. It was a heavyweight fight Saturday in Atlanta. I know it was a little one-sided there for a while after Alabama went on their roll. But, I mean, I think even the most, I think unbiased fans will tell you, on any given day, I think either one of those teams can win the football game. And I'm sure Alabama, once again, they're going to have a huge psychological advantage. They just whipped up on Georgia. I'm not sitting here that I'm saying I'm picking Georgia. Who knows if they even make it. If you were to put money on one team to make the college football playoff out of these two, I think you got to push all your money into Alabama. And it has to do with the fact they're playing Cincinnati. And it has to do with the fact with all the momentum they got. And it has to do with the fact where they don't have to worry about their psyche getting hit. I mean, who knows? Georgia this may have started an epic collapse that'll bleed over to the college football playoff. Michigan, hell, they've only lost one game this year. They beat the hell out of Ohio State. They just ran through Iowa. I think it was 42-3 in the Big Ten championship. So, hey, Georgia did this to themselves, put themselves in a disadvantaged position compared to Alabama. But that's the breaks of the game, and that's why Saturday's win in Atlanta was so huge for them Crimson Tide. Now, moving on to the only other New Year's 6 game we've got involving an SEC team, the Sugar Bowl down in New Orleans. Ole Miss versus Baylor. That's going to be January 1st at 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 Central on ESPN. And then here we got a bunch of bowl games here. The rest of the SEC, the Citrus Bowl down in Orlando. Kentucky versus Iowa, January 1st, 1 o'clock, noon Central on ABC. Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Mississippi State versus Texas Tech. The Mike Leach Bowl. Remember they fired old Leach for throwing that kid in a tool shed or something like that. December 28th, 6:45 Eastern, 5:45 Central on ESPN. Mississippi State's already played in Memphis this year and lost that game due in large part to those fucking refs blowing the game. But, hey, Mississippi State headed back to familiar grounds there. The Duke Mayo Bowl in Charlotte, South Carolina versus North Carolina. That's going to be December 30th, 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central on ESPN. And Shane Beamer has already said he will take the Duke Mayo mayonnaise bath if they win that football game. So can't wait for that. The Music City Bowl in Nashville, Tennessee versus Purdue, December 30th, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central on ESPN. The Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Texas A&M versus Wake Forest, December 31st, 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Central on ESPN. And speaking of the Aggies, wanted to make this note. Defensive lineman DeMarvin Leal, he's announced he's going pro, and he is not expected to play in the bowl game against Wake Forest, so wanted to make fans aware of that. The Outback Bowl in Tampa, Arkansas versus Penn State, January 1st, noon Eastern, 11 o'clock Central on ESPN2. And great news for the Razorbacks here on Sunday. Won't have this guy available for the game, but you'll have him next season. More importantly, former 5-star Oklahoma transfer receiver Jadon Hazelwood has transferred to Sam Pittman's program, or at least he announced he's headed that way. I don't think it's finalized, but he has announced it. There's no... you got to say that in the transfer portal era. It ain't official till they sign up, but huge pickup here for the Razorbacks. Potentially, he's not a Traylon Burks. There's so few of those guys out there, but he's got the talent of that. I mean, he was the nation's #1 overall receiver prospect in the 2019 recruiting cycle. Caught 39 passes for 399 yards and 6 touchdowns last season for Oklahoma. So this isn't a case of some five-star bust that can't play football, and now you're getting him. This is a guy that clearly doesn't want to play for the Sooners anymore with Lincoln Riley no longer there. Now he's going to go play for Kendall Briles in a similar offense. So we'll have to see how that goes. And we got the Texas Bowl here in Houston, LSU versus Kansas State, January 4th, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central on ESPN. The Armed Forces Bowl in Fort Worth, Texas, Missouri versus Army on December 22nd, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central on ESPN. Ooh, Missouri against a service academy. That could be dangerous there if they don't come ready to defend that run. The Gasparilla Bowl, which is in Tampa. We got Florida versus Central Florida. December 23rd, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central on ABC. And last but not least, the Birmingham Bowl. Auburn versus Houston, which Houston's won 10 or 11 games this year. So this could be an interesting matchup here. December 28th, noon Eastern, 11 o'clock Central on ESPN. Ooh, so we got 13 teams going bowling. Cannot wait for that. Gonna have all kinds of content, news, and notes on all those matchups in the days and weeks to come.